Alright, this is Chris with Rollo Photoshop Stop. This tutorial is going to be on a request in our Facebook group. It is how to do graffiti without using the 3D tool in Photoshop Extended. I'm just going to show you how to do the graffiti, and I'll probably do the inside so you can see how I did that. The rest of the stuff is just going to be too long of a tutorial, so I'm just going to show just the graffiti. There are some brushes. They're called gear brush. They're vector, so they're pretty sweet. All I do is come here, download it. Well, this here is the graffiti page I found online. I'm going to show you how to cut all this stuff out and make it. You don't have to have a tablet, or you can use your mouse basically to draw the stuff out. So with all that being said, let's open up our Photoshop. I'll make a new document by going to File, New. This document is going to be 3000 pixels by 1687. Resolution is 300. I'm going to use a white background. Hit OK. First thing I'm going to do is invert my white background to black by hitting Control I. If you don't want to use shortcuts, you can come up to Image, Adjustment, and Invert. Next thing we're going to do is open up our graffiti, and it's right here. I'm going to grab my lasso tool. I'm going to grab the middle lasso. You can use your pen tool if you want. I prefer to use my lasso just because it's quicker for me. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in on the R. I'm just going to make, just instead of Rollo, I'm going to just do roll. And all I'm going to do is select and just go like this. I'm going to speed the video up because this takes some time. So here we go. Now what I've selected, I'm going to grab my zoom by hitting Z. Come in, I'm going to hit L for my lasso. I'm going to hold Alt, and I'm just going to select around the inside when I'm still holding Alt. What it's going to do is it's just going to minus the selection, so I just have the R selected. I'm going to zoom. I'm going to hit Control J. I'm going to hold Control. I'm going to move that into our big one, and I'm going to just bring it right there. Hit and hold Control, click while it's selected, hit my D, so my foreground is black to white. Hit and hold Control, backspace, it fills in with white. Control D, this selects. Do that with the next letter. My next letter is O. So here we go, let's speed it up again. Once again, once you have it selected, hold your Alt and just deselect the middle. Control. Make sure your background layer is selected. Hit Control J. Hold Control. Bring it into our next layer. That's what you should have right there. Hold Control, click. Hold Control, backspace. Hold Control D. That way it's all that. Next letter would be W. Speed it up again. Here we go. Once you got that selected, select your background layer. Hit Control J. Hold Control. Bring it in. Let go. move it to where you want it to be. Hold Control, click, hold Control, backspace, hold Control D. That's all you need right there. Let's go ahead, and since the W is on top, we want to bring that to the bottom. Bring our R to the top. So it goes R, O, W. Now, with our R, go ahead and put a stroke on it. Bring your stroke up to 13 pixels. Have it on the outside. Hit OK. Turn your back layer off. It should look like that with your letter that you have selected. Now, hit this little tab here. Hold Alt and select FX and drag it into the next layer. I'll put that same thing on top. Do that all the way through. You should have all that. Now go through and put the fills all the way to the bottom. Then once you got that all taken care of, so it should look like that right there. Select the top layer, hit Control, Shift, Alt, E. What it's going to do is it's going to make it one merge layer. Now select these ones and just take away the effects. So now you should just have it back to being a white. With it being like that, go ahead and hit Control, Shift, E. Merge those three layers together. Then you should have it to where it looks like this. If you do, hit Control, hold, click. That way it's just selecting where the white is. Select the top layer, backspace. It gets rid of all the nonsense lines in the middle. And the reason that is, I have no lines in the middle on my name. So, like that, what you're going to do is you're going to duplicate the top layer. Let's turn the white off. Put that in the middle actually. With the top layer selected, bring the opacity down to 75. Then with the bottom layer, bring that opacity down to 50. And with the bottom layer selected, grab your move tool and just move to where it looks cool 3D wise. Now once you got that, turn your white layer on. It's going to be a little confusing at first if you are understanding. What we're doing is we're moving the object away so we can have a ground where our lines are going to connect, so that way we can make our 3D texture layer. Alright, our bottom layer is still selected. Make a new layer. Come to our custom shape tool, grab your line tool, make sure it's the third one over on the second box with 6 pixels. With that being said, go ahead and draw your line out to connect. Do that all the way around. That way we have it look like that. I'm going to speed the video up so you can see what I'm talking about. And here we go. Now if you notice, what I'm doing is just connecting the lines so we have a 3D. So I'm going to speed it up again so what I'm going. Now, once you have all your lines selected, or not selected, but now that you have your lines drawn out, go ahead and turn up the opacity on your two black layers. You should have something that looks like this here. And if you notice, you have all these lines coming through. So, what our bottom layer is selected, what we're going to do is we're going to come in with our eraser tool. Make sure you have a eraser that will just fit inside of the lines. And all you're going to do is you're just going to come in and erase the lines. So it looks like this. You're going to do that all the way through. And see, this is the part that's confusing what's going on here. So what I need to do is I need to erase this spot right here. And that way it gives that there. See, it can get confusing. That's why at first I said I wasn't going to make this tutorial, just because I remembered how confusing it was when I first made my letters. But I figured, what the hell, everybody should learn how to do something new, right? Now, here's a good spot to talk about. There's a crossover line. All you're going to do is come up to your line. You're just going to erase that out. Go back to your black line. And just do that. Same thing here. The crossover line. And that's what it should look like right there. Now, I'm going to select my white layer because I noticed there's a spot right here, right there. There should be one over here. Nope, just those two spots right there where the letters cross over and like the white right there. All I'm going to do is just grab my brush, select a brush that is about the right size, and I'm just going to come in and draw the line white so it blends in. Now that's what we should have so far. With our line tool, or not line tool, but our line layer, select it, double click it. Let's put a stroke on it. Let's bring that stroke down to about a 2. What we're looking for is it blend in with the other strokes. Hit OK. Probably even put a bigger stroke on it. I'm going to say about a 3. Yeah, 3 would work. And that's what we have so far. And if you notice, there is spots that you're going to miss. Let's come in. Let's get rid of it. That should be the only one. Wasn't a whole lot of going on. Now, unselect your white. Have all that craziness going on right there. Hit Control, Shift, E, merge those layers together. Turn your white back on. Over your white layer, hold Control, click. With your line layer selected, hit backspace. What we just got rid of was all that craziness inside. That's what we should have so far. And with all that, you have your white. Let's go ahead and bring your zoom in. With our line layer selected, let's put another stroke on it. And the reason that is I want to see where all the mess ups are. The stuff, the little pixels that I didn't erase in the beginning. So I'm going to grab my eraser tool, and that's going to come in and erase the little spots that I missed. Nah, that looks about right. And with that, I'm just going to turn off the style. You notice there's a couple choppy spots, like right here. You can come in with your lasso tool and just cut out and delete the choppy spots. Let's do that with time lapse. And that looks about right. So now we are going to color in our panels, and our gradient in the description. There is a description for right here. It's all these gradients for blacks and grays, and this is what we're wanting to use for this. We don't want to use this a solid black to white. We want to use a gray gradient and download that, load it in. So let's load our black and gray. That way we just have our black and grays. This is what it looks like right here. Now we need to select just our panels. And there's two ways you can do it. You can go in and you can select them all, then make a new layer and all that. Let's do it this way. Let's go ahead and duplicate our black layer. And with our black layer selected, let's go ahead and hit our wand tool. And with that, you want to grab your gradient, come up to one of these. I'm going to go with the ones at the top, which is going to be this one here. Then I'm going to select outside, come in, and make it like that. But instead of it going from white to black, I want it to go from gray or white to gray. Now go ahead and do that to all the panels. I'm going to speed up the video. Here we go. Alright, now with all that done, you're gonna ask yourself on a couple different ones. Like this here, you're gonna be like, what the hell? And same thing with this one here. And then this one here too. So what you're gonna do, the reason I had you made two different ones is you're going to select the bottom one, but you're gonna hit control and click. Now the top layer that you just did all your gradient on, hit backspace, deselect it, let's turn off the layers, and now you're just left with the gradient layer. Turn your white on, turn your black on, and that's what you have. Go ahead and throw that up to the top. Now if you notice this spot right here, it's not filled all the way in. That's easily fixable. Go ahead and double click on your gradient layer. Let's put a stroke on it, but do it on the inside. Or not inside, where do I do it? Oh, on the center. That way it fills it in. You can even bring it down so it's a gray. Just like that. And that way it looks like this here. So far that's all we got. Now let's go ahead and select our white, and let's bring and select that layer and bring a new layer in. Come up to our brush tool. Let's click on Paint Bomb 1. Where is it? Alright, Paint Bomb 1. With that, go ahead and select that color there. If you don't have that color, it is 9E, 0B, 0F. Hit OK. And just go ahead and throw in some paint splatters. Give it that demonic look. Like somebody's hand that's got caught in the paint bomb there. Just like that. Same thing. Let's make a new layer on top of that. With our brush, let's bring in SS gears. Make our foreground color black. These are going to be huge gears because they are vectored. So you're going to want to bring them down. And let's go ahead and choose different gears. Put them in different spots. I want to speed this part up. And once you have all that done there, just select. Now with our white layer, we're going to duplicate that. We're going to put that on top. Bring the fill down. Go ahead and select inside, put a stroke on it, change the color to white, and bring the stroke up. Gonna put that on inside, and I'm gonna have the stroke about 5. So it looks like that there. Hit OK. Right click, convert to smart object. Right click again, visualize layer. Now it's a flattened layer. We're going to double click on that layer. We're going to put a stroke on that. We're going to choose pure red, which is FF0000. 3 looks good, but you could probably bring it up to about 4 or 5. Hit OK, and that is what is going on so far. Now, let's go ahead and bring all the stuff into a group by hitting Shift, click, hit Control G. Now it's in a group. With that in a group, go ahead and hit Control Shift Alt E. Makes it its own layer. And the reason that is so we could put adjustment over top. We're going to do a hues and saturation. We're going to bring the color more of a saturated red color, so it looks like it's more of a warm out blood look, just like that, so it's not so vibrant. Then bring that back. That's selected. Go ahead and hit Control, click on the layer we just made with your mask selected. Hit Alt backspace. What it's going to do is it's going to deselect that part there. Then hit Control I to invert. That way it's just that part there that has been affected. So when you do a background, it won't affect that part. Now go ahead and get rid of this layer here. Move this into the group on top. So if you had to move that around, it stays with your material. And that is how we did it. Please join us on Facebook with a group of us Adobe artists. And like always, comment, rate, subscribe, share, favorite, dislike, tell me to go to hell, whatever you do on YouTube. And like always, have a great day. Bye.